The call came at 3:17 a.m. The voice on the line was unnervingly calm. Your daughter fell from a balcony. I was already moving before the line went dead. Boots on, rifle case in the trunk. Sirens painting the sky red as I tore toward the hotel. She was still alive, barely, her body broken, but her eyes hunted for me through the chaos. She gripped my sleeve with blood-slick fingers, whispering. Mom was with her friend from work. Dad, he got mad when I walked in. He said I was ruining their fun, and then he pushed me. Her lips trembled, her eyes rolling back. Machines took over her breathing. I stood frozen. No shouting, no outbursts, just the silence of a man trained to mask weakness. But inside, a fracture spread like glass under pressure. I glanced at the hotel balcony, my daughter's blood still staining the concrete below. I knew today would be his last sunrise. They loaded her into the ambulance. I followed. An hour later, my wife appeared in the waiting room, mascara smudged, hair disheveled, stage shock in her eyes. Who was he? I asked. Her silence said enough. Not a stranger, not a mistake. A pattern. Her friend from work wasn't there by chance. He was him. The one she laughed with on late calls, whose number she always deleted before bed. I remembered the whispers at gatherings, the tilt of her head when listening to him, the quick smiles exchanged in corners, thinking no one noticed. My daughter wasn't lying. Children don't invent that kind of truth, and he punished her for seeing it. I wanted to erupt, let rage consume me in the hospital corridor. But anger is noise, and noise gets you caught. I stayed calm. Silence became my weapon. I began gathering threads. First, her phone. While she slept in the hospital chair, I slipped it from her purse. She'd use an old password. Foolish messages, months of them. Not casual, but explicit detail, desperate. Plans made in hotel rooms, in his house, even in mine when I was deployed. I scrolled with clinical detachment. Every line a wound, yet I didn't bleed. I observed, measured, stored. Next, the hotel records. The night manager still respected a Navy ID. Surveillance footage, grainy but clear enough. My wife and him entering a room, laughing, drinks in hand. 2 minutes later, my daughter knocked and then fell. No accident, no drunken stumble. He shoved her because she interrupted something meant to stay hidden. The police called it unclear. A fall. No proof of intent. But I had proof. Patience. Training. I didn't confront him. Not yet. A soldier doesn't strike without certainty. I waited for the final piece. DNA. Quietly. I sent samples. My daughter's toothbrush, mine, is lifted from a glass he'd left at a work barbecue months ago. When the results returned, I stared at the paper. Probability 99.97%. Not my child. His. The daughter I raised, taught to ride a bike, to swim, to defend herself. The daughter who whispered Dad through broken teeth in that hospital bed. His. I didn't collapse. I didn't scream. I folded the paper, slid it into my jacket, and drove to his house. When he opened the door, his smile vanished. I said nothing, just handed him the envelope. He read it, eyes wide, hand shaking. Wait, he stammered, but I was already walking away. Panic clung to me like smoke. The next day, I returned to the hospital. My wife looked at me, hollow-eyed. Where were you? She asked. I handed her the same envelope. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Lips moved without sound. Then the tears, the pleading. Please. I cut her off with one word. No. I didn't need to raise my voice. The truth was louder than anything I could say. I left the room before her sobs began. By the time I reached the parking lot, I saw him. Pale, eyes darting, broken. He'd already read it 100 times. Already understood. Not just exposure. Not just betrayal uncovered. But the end of everything he thought he had. He mouthed something as I passed. A plea, an excuse. I didn't stop. That night, I sat by my daughter's bed. Machines breathed for her. Tubes fed her. She whispered my name once in her sleep. Not his. I knew then what mattered. Blood is biology. Loyalty is choice. She chose me, always me. I stayed, silent, watching, guarding. Her mother vanished into shadows she created. He drowned in the truth I placed in his hands. Neither would see daylight the same way again. As for me, I felt nothing. No grief, no rage, no satisfaction. Only clarity, the kind only betrayal can give. When the sun rose, I watched it through the hospital window and thought, he didn't deserve this sunrise anyway.